as they were before. You best start racing.
Okay. The Professor stream, the whole time through I was like, ooh, oh. Yeah. I thought that was good, you know what I mean? There was nothing really bad there, personally. It was a decent stream. Um, PV stuff looks good, the new trial, new everything. They said something, I can't even remember exactly what it was, but they said something about when you level a new character, you're not going to have to like redo some of the skill lines. That is huge. They're sort of taking money out of their own pocket doing that, aren't they? Were they talking about like the Sigic and that, or what? Because if they were, that's happy days. My Necro and my Templar aren't leveled because I couldn't be bothered to do like everything again. Do you know what I mean? In fact, I'm on my third server now, so that's why I never post like Templar or Necro builds because I just can't be bothered to level them. But the new event thing looks good, doesn't it? That big, huge, fatty wall. Um, I'll take part in that. Obviously, I'll go take part in that. The trial, the new trial, and that I'll try that out and that when it come. Um, Subclass and no, good. Change is good. I like the change, um, but there's always a but. But I'm not sure. Like I don't think anyone's sure how they feel about it. It's in so many different comment, like a different comment every time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people's thumbnails of things from their videos saying people are divided and stuff as well. But yeah, from what I've seen, like yeah, I suppose you can say they're divided. That's just a different comment every time when I see people talking about it in like comment sections and stuff. Um, for me, it's good. It's definitely good. It's gonna huge shake up. The game needed it. At a time when we're trying to fix Cyrodiil, though, like that just seems like such a dramatic change. Like I thought we were trying to fix Cyrodiil with these tests. Um, but yeah, throwing subclass in, I suppose it keeps it different and that there's new mythics, new gear sets to try, all kinds of stuff. What will kill it on release? The same as anything that they do with this game, what will kill this on release is add-ons. I can personally guarantee you the full meta for next patch has already been found by people looking at numbers on screens. You know, like that guy who commented on my last video and said that my build did not mathematically make sense. uh, Coming from Xbox to PC, I always found it weird, like watching people on streams and in their videos using them little add-ons, you know, squeezing every single piece of damage out of each part of their build because they can see it. That for me removes the joy of, you know, testing the sets, the fun. You know, that's the beauty of ESO for me. Is like, right, I think these two sets will work. You know, I'll go throw them on and try it. And the reason why that's so good for the game is because it allows, you know, people that aren't as experienced as you to kill you instead of, you know, looking at numbers on the screen before you even enter PvP and squeezing them numbers so they go to the highest that they can possibly be, and then coming into Cyrodiil and just shitting all over everyone. Like I say, I guarantee you the meta for the next 6 months has already been found. I guarantee you someone has sat there and no-lifed using them add-ons and found like the most completely broken damage build that you can possibly make already. Um, and that's why that'll sort of be dead on release. I'll play it, don't get me wrong, I'll play it, you know, I'll give it a good smash, but that's why I lose interest in this game, because that's all it ends up being. Do you know what I mean? That just ends up being builds like that, and that just gets a bit, you know, a bit annoying after a while, and you just stop playing because of the, you know, that one cancer meta will be found and people will just play that and nothing else. Not will be found, already has been. I can guarantee you it already has been. Um, uh, you know, I know a lot of people will disagree with me because they will use those types of add-ons in PvE. But for me, I think that just takes, you know, the mystery of the game away. Think the wanting to make a combination, but you're not sure if it's going to work, and you've got to go test it, and sometimes die to test it. Yeah, taken since I came to PC. You know, seeing that has been completely removed from the game, and these add-ons is just like, ugh, you know, it's like throwing up in your own mouth. Like, eventually you're gonna spit it out. You know what I mean? But yeah, for me, nah, I don't like that personally. Um, that along with, you know, like any scripters. I had to report someone on the fucking test server. The first day of the test server, this guy was there, light Annie scripting, so he didn't have to push extra buttons. I've never had to report someone on the test server ever before. Uh, yeah, that's the extremes people go to, though. You see, some people are just weird. That's weird to me. I'm already not a fan of like dueling and things like outside of Cyrodiil on this game, because you get the recoveries, you get the extra recoveries and stuff from like continuous attack, which just makes, in my opinion, makes the fights better. But even without that, I don't know. I just prefer to play in Cyrodiil because people can't, you know, they're not running around on Rizla builds that one-shot you. Because I'll just keep dying in Cyrodiil. They have to make proper Cyrodiil builds, which makes it more fun to fight against them. That's just my opinion. But I did watch one guy, no, I shit you not, I watched one guy kill 20 people, one after the other, with Eviscerate on his build, blood for blood, morph, whatever. The only thing I could see that he was using was Essence Thief, because his body was glowing green. But 20 people, one after the other, he waited till his health got low, put on a shield, pressed Eviscerate or blood for blood, and they just died immediately. That is just, that has to be taken off the game. Like, why is that? How is that still on this game? I remember making that video. That must have been like a year, 2 years ago, maybe even longer than that, on Xbox. And there was a guy running about in cloak just one-shotting people with it. And I was complaining back then, and that's still on the game now. People are still doing it now. That is crazy to me, that is. How has that not been removed? Like, come on now. And then people will say, oh, but you play a Nightblade build. A Nightblade build with Incap is not the same as using a skill. Incap is an ultimate. You can kill someone in one shot with a skill. You know, that is ridiculous, and that needs to go. 100%. Either needs, like, you know, huge, like unplayable nerf, or just taken off the game. Range damage needs to be nerfed, or the gankers will be absolute cancer. You know, and all the Zergs with staffs and stuff, you know, they will just be cancer. You know, and I wish they would stop them add-ons. I wish they would stop them add-ons, because then things like subclassing would be fun. But with the add-ons in the game, it just won't be. It'll be the same old story. You know, someone will post a build full meta. You know, melt a half a second build, and that will be it. The game will be unplayable. So as long as they keep on top of nerfs. You know, and I post builds. Don't get me wrong. I don't post builds like that. I never post. You never saw the serpents to stain Arcanist on my YouTube, did you? And the reason why you never saw that was because that was too broken. Someone I played with at the time really genuinely wanted me to post that build, and I said no. I'm not doing that, mate. You know, my channel isn't for that. I make builds where you have to push buttons to kill people and actually fight them, and that's why I loved Vengeance. I don't understand the comments from, like, you know, you can clearly tell who the 1vxe type players are by the way they talk, people who think they are good in comment sections, and They were saying that anyone that
Oh, see,
enjoyed
advantage,
Vengeance
oh,
or
I
whatever
always struggle
is a
when they
noob
say
because
that.
Vengeance is for noobs, which I found weird. But because before Vengeance, they were all saying that it involves that's going to bring skill back to the game, blah blah blah. You know, and then when it came and left, they were like, "Oh, Vengeance is for noobs." That's like, what one is it, mate? It's either for noobs or not. Not saying that you're not allowed to change your mind on something, but I don't know, I found that weird, but I enjoyed Vengeance personally, and the reason why I enjoyed it was because there was no eviscerate, there was no disgusting putting every dot in the game on someone and watching them melt because they can't heal through it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I just think stuff like that is cringe. I don't know, I always have been the same. You do not have to agree with what I say. That is just my opinion, and I am allowed it, and I will always give it. So as a whole, like the Bethesda stream was great, but you know, like I say, with the add-ons in the game, I think subclassing will more or less be dead on release, personally, and I'll still play it. Don't get me wrong, I will still play it, and I'll take the pain, and I'll make videos. I'll make build videos, and I'll still do my thing, but yeah, look, from my perspective, it's just going to be the same old story. You know, just completely broken builds will be brought in through add-ons. But it is what it is. That's been my take anyway. I'm not going to harp on anymore. We're at 11 minutes. In a bit.
Bye bye.